Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I'm doing this picture-in-picture today, and it's a feature that's on the Galaxy phones that just came back. I used to use it when I had my YouTube channel that was more about, it wasn't audiophile related, it was about what it was like to own a Tesla, probably back in 2013, 14, around that area. Galaxy phones back then had this picture-in-picture feature where it would use the interior camera and the front-facing camera, and I could do videos where I show my facial expression while I'm driving the Tesla, as well as the dashboard and everything I saw. And it was a really cool way to do videos. But ever since that era of Galaxy phones, they've stopped doing it until this Galaxy S22 came out. So I think I might use this formula at Axpona. You guys can tell me what you think if you like this picture-in-picture. Maybe you can read my face if I like a room or not, just from my facial expression. But in any case, wanted to showcase a few things today, highlight what I'll be looking for at Axpona that's new to me that I haven't seen before, some rooms I'm going to recommend if you're going there, and a few other little tidbits. A special thing I'm going to show you, actually, I can show you. Actually, this is the 27 Club rug that I just had done. If you know, I'm a big fan of the 27 Club, all these great artists that died at 27 years old. A lot of my pictures on the wall are all 27 Club members. So I had this done, custom, pretty cool. But I think what most people find cool as well, and it's going to have a unique feature at Axpona, is I'm bringing this USB stick. This is a kind of a tube, faux tube looking USB stick, and I'll take it out here and I'll jump in my chair and talk about it more. But basically, I'm bringing this to Axpona to play some tracks. So let me jump in my chair so you can kind of get a better view and talk a little bit more about this and some other features at Axpona I'm going to be doing. Okay, in my seat I can show you a little bit better, it's a little more comfortable. But before I even get to this about the show, I mentioned that the last Maggie video was probably my last one before Axpona. Famous last words. Since that video, I've done so many things that I could do a video. In fact, it's going to be 2 videos coming out, especially for members. I got to ride in a Ferrari SF90 Stradale, and I'm going to feature that in the membership section. And also that server that I built, I finally delivered it to the customer. And members are going to get an inside look at that. Maybe I'll release some of those things to the general channel at some point. But again, if you're a member, those things are coming. And if you want to become a member, you subscribe first, and then YouTube will give you a join button. So you can look at that option. But for the Axpona coverage, getting back to what I'm going to be featuring and some unique things that I don't think has ever been done before. Obviously, people bring USB sticks, and even sometimes they bring albums to play at the show. And this is obviously a unique USB stick, but that's not really what's unique, what I'm going to be doing. If you watched my video a few weeks ago with that featured Dave Husto and his great room that everybody wows about, his sound staging and all the great room treatments he's done to get that performance that wows people. Also in that video, if you noticed, and I've done this for many years, and I've had some of his recordings as well, he's done some mastering, or participated in the mastering of certain recordings. And so what I have on this USB stick is some of his recordings. And Dave Husto is going to be at Axpona with me. So this is probably the first time we're going to be able to give a recording to a room. The person who was there when it was mastered and participated in the mastering is going to be there as well and be able to A/B and tell how accurate and realistic it is. He's been playing it many years on his system. I've had these same recordings on mine. So you're talking about a reference beyond any reference that's ever been done before. So having that resource and this, I can't promise we'll do it on every room. It's kind of time consuming. Some rooms aren't conducive to it. But I have been invited to after hours and before hours sessions, so might do that selectively with this. And that should be really cool. On top of that Dave Husto resource, I've got tons of friends going to this. I've got 2 friends that each own MBL Extremes. I have one that it was featured in my Las Vegas videos, the mega mansion with great cars, great guy, 3 different systems. He's going to be there as well. Some audiophiles that I haven't even featured their room yet, but Rockports, great gear, up and down the list. These guys all have great ears, great gear, and they buy this gear, and keep it. It's not flippers. And man, these guys will get their input as well of what they're hearing that wows them or not. So we're going to have a lot of resources for you guys if you're watching along. And I'm going to do that same formula I did for the Florida show. Kind of do it if you are watching live. YouTube, if you have it up, I'll just be uploading stream of conscious, kind of no production value. After I leave a room, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And so you'll get the feeling of being there, but it won't have that production value that traditional videos, that summary videos at the end. I'll do summary videos maybe at night and then obviously after the show, but I wanted to give you that feel of being there and kind of the fun vibe if you are watching on YouTube. A lot of people really enjoyed that last time. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I also wanted to give you a heads up of what I'm looking to here and probably the first rooms I'm going to visit. And then also some guidance for if you've never been to a show, if you're going, some things that on the budget side, obviously Burmester, YG, MBL, Rockport, they're all going to be there. You've seen all those brands featured on my channel. Those are going to be must-sees. The GTT Audio Room has the YGs. They always do a great job with setup. But there's two other brands. I looked through the list. Almost all of them I'm familiar with and have heard multiple times. But there are two brands that I want to see again. Well, one I haven't seen ever was Bayz Audio, B-A-Y-Z. I've heard a lot of good things about that speaker, so that's going to be probably my first stop. And I want to spend some time, understand that speaker. It's a unique tube-based, almost transmission line, I guess, design for the bass, and then an omnidirectional tweeter. Very unique. Got some very good recommendations from people I trust, so I want to hear those firsthand. The other two rooms that I've heard before, but I want to give you guys, haven't heard them on my channel, I don't think, other than Mure Audio is one that you've seen at Florida show. And I want to go off on a little tangent here to tell you another reason why you want to go to these shows. It's not just about being entranced by the gear or what you hear. What you also want to do is kind of get to know the people behind these brands. Because I can tell you what, in fact, recently I found some brands I would never do business with, and I'm going to share that in the membership section pretty soon. Brands that never do business with, and I'm going to recommend to my members never ever deal with again. Just total shysters, and no way in hell I'll ever do business with them. But then on the flip side, going to these shows, you get to know people behind the brands that, man, you get such a good vibe, intuition, and a feeling from them that they are true audiophiles, have a passion. And those are the kind of people and things you want to also digest when you're at the show, not just the looks or the sound. Because in these rooms, I don't even know how people can give certificates to these rooms that are in hotel rooms. To me, almost none of those hotel rooms sound anywhere near what I can get at my home or other rooms that I've featured. Those never, I can appreciate how they manage that room, but it's never to a level of anything I would say is reference. So those small rooms, you got to just go in understanding that is not going to be as great as that gear can sound in a great room. Now, the rooms that are more conference areas, that are bigger, and they can do some treatments, those can get to the performance that would be, I would consider, reference quality. But go in knowing that those small rooms, you're never going to hear what you hear there as good at your home, in assuming you know how to set up a room properly and don't have an equally bad room as a hotel room. Those just are never going to impress you so much. But in any case, getting back to this, is the other thing you want to realize is that condition yourself for what you're going to hear in these hotel rooms, but also listen to the people behind the room. Get a good feeling. Talk to the people. And support brands that give you that good vibe. I can't say enough how much the enjoyment of my hobby has increased dealing with brands that I enjoy doing business with, like Steve McCormick, or dealerships that I enjoy doing business with, like 3MA. And my friend Doug, he has another great experience with Steve McCormick and the brands that he's also had some bad experiences, which again, I'll share on the membership section. He would never do business with again. And that just makes all the difference in the world who you're dealing with sometimes in terms of your enjoyment of your products. And he wants to get rid of one of his pieces just because he doesn't want to even look at it anymore to remind him of what that brand is all about. So again, even though it still works and performs well. So this is just a little side thing I wanted to share with you. But getting back to what I was talking about, Mure Audio is one of those companies that I really wasn't too wowed by the performance of the speaker when I first heard them many years ago. And as I've heard them multiple times since then, really starting to really sound great. And for the small rooms that they get, he's getting good performance. So, and then I really like the guys behind that room. So pay them a visit. And then also, another brand that I really like is Cabas, and actually Upscale Audio is now carrying them, which is very weird that they're carrying Cabas. But in any case, Cabas is a brand, irrespective of Upscale, that I really respect. From one thing they did at a show, they tried to do a home theater in a room, and that's usually a mistake by most brands that have tried to do that. It hasn't turned out very well. I can count on maybe two fingers how many sounded good doing that, and they were one of them. And the reason they really impressed me is when they did the front three speakers, it wasn't like two main speakers and then one speaker turned on its side with the same model number family as the two front channels, saying that it's matched. But when you play pink noise on those, you can tell they're not even matched. On most brands, they just say they're matched. It's really not matched. They used three identical speakers for center, front and left, front, right. And that told me right away that they are tuned into how audiophiles listen to home theater. I mean, that's the one thing I would love to do, is have a center channel that is identical to my GR Research and Extreme. There's just no way to do it. And so the Maggie's open baffle are closest thing I can get with the base model sub, closest matching I can get pink noise wise, that are somewhat in the same family, but it's still not perfect. But three identical front channel speakers tells me that that person knows how to set up a home theater for audiophiles, because they aren't matched otherwise. Trust me on that. So those three brands, I'm interested to see what Cabas speaker Upscale brings. Their Sphere, their reference Sphere, if they bring that, you're definitely going to want to hear that one. That thing is amazing. Their smaller ones, though, are nice too, and they have subwoofers and everything. And it brings up the other point I've been saying in my videos. That's a whole different style of speaker that you're going to want to see, just like I showed with Maggie's and other point source box, omnidirectionals. You're going to want to see, and the Mure Audio is a different style, and the Bays Audio. So all of these you want to try to get exposure to when you go to these shows while you have the chance, to see if one resonates with you more than the other. Because even if they measure the same, they're going to present the music different. So get a chance to watch those or listen to those different varieties while you have the chance. And I'll feature them in my videos and give you my thoughts, but it's always best to use your ears. And then for those that can't afford this cost no object, I know that's the sexy stuff people like to wish and look at that stuff. And a lot of my friends can actually afford all that stuff. But I come from the humble roots of being a teenager audiophile and still like to find the budget stuff and share that stuff with you, and the do-it-yourself stuff as well. And so two brands that I think I've looked on the list that guaranteed you want to check out if you're in that buying mood and want something that's state-of-the-art quality and looks and everything is Geshelli for any headphone setup and headphone amps. I was very impressed with them at Florida. Make sure you check out their room. And then the other one that's going to be there is Salk Sound. And if you haven't heard of them, they make speakers and other somewhat of electronics, but their speakers are what I would really focus on. You can buy them direct, and the finish on these speakers will compare favorably to any speaker in any room at Expo. I can tell you right off the bat right now, any box speaker with a finish, Salk Sound is going to compete with that on looks, no matter what the price is. And you'll be shocked at the pricing of the Salk Sound and what you can get buying direct on that, and the quality of that room. And they usually pair it with Schiit electronics, very economical. And again, you can put any kind of quality electronics with their stuff, and it should sound great. My friend Doug had those for a long time. Was great skier. So Salk Sound, Geshelli is two. I'll focus on some more while I'm at the show. Again, I've got friends that are going to be there that own Megadollar systems, and we're going to get their thoughts as well. And these guys are ones that own many Megadollar systems, and they keep it. It's not like they flip gear. These guys have Megadollar systems, hear a lot of great stuff. I'll be sure to give you their feedback and do the same style that I did in Florida. So hopefully you're going to be watching. If not, I'll have it all in a playlist where you can play at your leisure down the road. So sign up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here soon.